Hello, I'm Jessica Vascone,
I'm Ryan Wolf.
and this is our presentation on our Respironics case. So a little bit of overview. Respironics has had consistent sales growth over the past 5 years. They're looking towards a lot of innovation and expansion, but they are having a significant shrink in their market share. So I'm going to go over the performance evaluation a little bit between the three companies. So Respironics first in 2006 exceeded the 1 billion mark in revenues. But when you further look into the company, you can see that they are having some financial issues. There's been a big instability in their stock price. In 2005, it hit a high of $42.95, and it's fluctuated ever since to about $36.67 in 2006, with some other lows in between. The instability of stock price can deter new investors, which would ultimately decrease their market share eventually. In 2005, they had a big issue where they had to recall over 170,000 humidifiers, which was a loss over $5 million for them. When analyzing their market share, domestically in 2004, they had about 50.8% of the market share, which has just gradually decreased up until 2006. This could also mean that there's a decline in profitability for the company. In the global market, they are in an immediate close competition with ResMed. They are going back and forth, either one ranging between around 50%. And in the international market, they've stayed fairly stable, around 50% of the market share. Okay, another one of their competitors is Fisher & Paykel Healthcare. They're a New Zealand-based company that operates on a much smaller level. They don't have market share as ResMed or Respironics, but they do still operate efficiently. And more recently, in 2000, invested around $12 million into research and development, and they're currently in a $36 million project for expansion. So ultimately, their future for growth is looking very promising. Okay, ResMed is Respironics' biggest competitor. Their financial performance, unlike Respironics, is gradually increasing. They're their immediate competitor. In both the domestic and global market, their market share is increasing. Globally, they're slowly getting to a greater percentage of market share other than Respironics, so they're getting that competitive advantage over them. In 2006, they decided to take 6% of their revenues and dedicate it to research and development.
So the main strategy of Respironics is one of differentiation. It's a company that designs, manufactures, and markets medical devices, and their main goal is to produce quality goods that are more comfortable and more convenient than anything else in the market. Some examples of what they do to innovate are they create products that help with sleep. They've created respiratory drug delivery devices that lower dosage and increase the effectiveness of the drug, and also produces children's medical products. They've kept the production of critical parts domestic so they control quality. They outsource production of disposable products to the Asian Pacific to lower costs. And they also engaged in demand flow technology, which refers to production based on orders received. They implemented it back in 1998, and since then, the unit volume has increased 400%, while component inventories decreased 60 to 70%. ResMed's strategy is one that focuses around education. They recognize that one of the greatest tools they have is to expand their market, is to educate those who are not aware of respiratory problems. They understood that they could market to patients such as the 83% of hypertension patients who had sleep breathing disorders, 80% of type 2 diabetes patients who had sleep breathing disorders, and 80% of long-haul truckers who suffer from obstructive sleep apnea. And they've also directly educated customers, and through that they're able to build working relationships with them. And Fisher & Paykel, they're a smaller company, however their products directly compete with Respironics. They use a focus strategy, so they focus on creating narrower product lines. Like they design, manufacture, and market heated humidification products. And they also invest a lot in lowering their costs and increasing production. And they're also aware of the external environment, so they're always prepared for possible fluxes in demand.
And I'm going to talk about SWOT analysis for the company. To start with the analysis, we have to start with the strength. And if you look at the strength, Respironics, they have been here in the market from way back, and they're working at, they are the leader of the market from the beginning. So they have this competitive advantage over the others, as they are the early comer for this industry, and they are the leader for this. And from all the products line they have, they are the superior in the market comparing to the other competitors, and that gives them the huge advantage over others. They, because of their excellent customer service and their quality of product, they have a huge brand loyalty amongst them, and this gives them a advantage, and also it works as their strength for their all of their product lines. One of their main strength is their DFT, the product demand flow technology that they implemented, and it gave them the unit volume to increase up to 400%, and the inventory to decrease 60 to 70%. And once they implemented it, it gave them a huge strength to their capabilities. And they, as we know from the case, that they have around 260 million cash and securities in their hands. So it gave them a huge advantage for as a financially, and also it gave them the ability to invest for the R&D for future and their other researchers and their future product lines. In terms of weakness, yes, they have a certain weakness, which is mainly focusing on marketing, because compared to the other competitors, their marketing skills and their marketing strategy are not that developed yet. Another one of their weaknesses that they do not invest in clinical researches. Most of their researches are based on the products they have. They're not based on clinical research, which might give them an advantage if they work on that side. Another approach is that they have a very naive strategical approach in terms of their advances and their development of their products, because the other competitors, they work on like price strategy and also other various strategies which give them a slightly better grip on the market. The company, there are many small size companies that the company should look for acquisition, because they have good amount of cash reserve for them, and these acquisition will let the company for future advancement. There is an offer from Philips for the acquisition of the company. If the company seeks it's a good fit for them, they should go for this acquisition from Philips. There is another way from them is the formation of partnership with other maybe competitors or maybe other the sectors of the industry, which might give them good advantage in the field. Six Sigma manufacturing, that their main strength, the company's main strength is their production line, and this training section will give them a huge advantage to better and optimize their production. They have the cure of disorders, and the R&D to explore this field is a huge opportunity for them, because the other companies have not looked in this field yet. So this will give the Respironics a huge advantage over others if they can capitalize on this. In terms of threat, the other two competitors, our ResMax and the others, all of the other companies, they are growing rapidly in the market right now, and they also have good financial records over the years. And this is a huge threat for the company. In terms of substitutions, there are not that many substitutions for their products, so it does not count as a threat. But bureaucracy of Medicare and government regulations, which are changing very frequently, might play a huge role in their advancement of in future. Global market reach, which is their one of main threat for Respironics, because if you look at the market share, they have the 50-50 market share in global business, but in terms of growth, ResMed has grown twice as quickly as Respironics, so it gives them it is a threat for them in future. So again, as I mentioned before, ResMed's market share and growth, which is rapidly growing also in global market and also in US market, so they are a huge competitor and huge threat for the company.
Respironics have. So their first option that they could do, they could utilize their healthy cash balance and attempt to acquire one of the shortlist companies. They have the cash balance in order to do that, and that will also help them to grow their market share. Second option, they can accept the merger with Royal Phillips, but in this, one of the biggest cons is that they're gonna lose their independent status that they have strived to keep for so long. And lastly, they can look to do some sort of reorganization of their company.
So our recommendation for them is to merge with Royal Phillips. If they do this, it will require a little investment for them. They'll be able to keep their cash reserve. They'll also be able to take advantage of some of the business channels that Royal Phillips has already. They'll also be able to take advantage of economies of scale and lower their cost of production, giving them a better chance to be a cost leader. And it will also likely lead to more capital for investment and innovation in the company.